Time to start Petey this morning. Let's see how she does. Sorry, I just never get tired of this. Hey, I bought a new GoPro. Never owned one before. Frank gave it to me, so I didn't expose his Photoshop skills. Anyway, so I've been uploading my videos in 4K, which yesterday took from about 7 o'clock. It took all night. It was insane. It was 13 gigabytes and it took all night. So anyway, this is my cab ground. So what's happening is when you turn the blower motor on, the lights go dim. The voltmeter goes down like 12 volts, and then the temperature gauges go way up. And it does the same thing when you turn the lights or anything on. So this cab ground screws into there. I sprayed some electrical cleaner in that hole, and then I'll clean this up and the bolt, and we'll see if that helps it. And then maybe I'll unplug this stuff and see what it looks like. I've got a new... Oh, Mr. Griffey, he can start barking if I open this door. This is the new switch. Anyway, if you wiggle it back and forth, you get... Oh, I think, what is it? Speed number 3. Number 4 comes on all the time. 1 and 2 don't work at all. So we're going to put that in. What else was I going to show you? So, this is the high pressure service port. It's leaking. Blaine Keith out of Kansas got me this line. He's sending this to me. He got it from a dealer in Cedar Rapids. My Peterbilt dealer said there wasn't any available in the entire United States at any dealers, and it could be a month or so before I could get it made. So thank you, Blaine, for doing that. Plus Blaine's an experienced Peterbilt guy. He's got some 379s, and so he's been telling me where the grounds are and to clean them. So I did the ones on the starter ground, the one on the block, and then the one over to the frame. It bolts here. So if this doesn't work, I don't know what to do. We're gonna have to dig a little deeper. So I'm gonna clean this up and put it back on and see what happens. Okay, so I've got it cleaned back up, put in. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this mess. I'd like to clean it off, pull these out and see what they look like. I ain't figured out how to do that, but watch Mr. Griffey bark when I get up in here. Yep, there he is. I'm not going anywhere, Mr. Griff. Okay, turn the key on. So it's still dragging that way down. I don't understand that. Oh, looky here. Now I got speeds. Okay, buddy. Okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving you. I know you love the Peterbilt. I know you love it. You love the Peterbilt, huh? Don't you? Love that old Peterbilt. Huh? Well, barking at it ain't gonna help. You gotta see what he does when I start a motor. He just runs around, crazy dog, barking at it, huh? Don't you? Yeah. You just want to play, huh? I gave you a paper towel to tear up. You love doing that. Yeah. Tear it up. Get that paper towel. Get it. Crazy dog. Let's see if I can figure out how to undo this. See what the connections look like. Okay, I've cleaned all the grease and crap out of here, but see that hole right there? That's where the cab ground goes on a Peterbilt. Supposed to go over there, around here, and hook to the front of the starter down there. Right there. So I gotta go to town, see if I can find some 4-gauge wire. I have a 3/8 copper solder on end for that, but I don't have a 1/2-inch one for the starter, so I need to get that. I have no idea why this has no cab ground on it, but that explains a lot. Okay, so I've cleaned all this out with some electrical cleaner, got all the old grease out, blown it all dry, and then I covered these with dielectric grease. So, tip of the day, you'll look at these Peterbilt deals and you go, how's this come apart? Well, Blaine Keith showed me. I couldn't figure it out. Finally, I dug in there. And inside each one of them is that bolt. So anyway, that's how you undo them. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. This you can lift up and separate this part. But it's not going to come out this way. It has to go out the other way. And then there's a slot here that you can pull it out separate. So don't pry these little clips off. Just undo the bolt. And then gotta get my electrical socket and get it in there. Anyway, get her started. Should go right in there. Make sure that you're plugged in. It's not going hard. Binding, you don't want to bend any prongs on it. There was probably really nothing wrong with this. The grease was still fairly pliable, but it was starting to get hard in places. So I just figured I'd clean it up. So tip of the day, I got tired of messing with it, so I fired up the steam cleaner and I steamed it, and I steamed this. Yeah, and it blew some stuff inside there, but whatever. And then after you steam it, then take the electrical cleaner to it, because it'd take a case of electrical cleaner to dissolve all that grease off of here. That was nasty. So can't find any 4-gauge wire in town on a Sunday, so I'm gonna take and run probably double 10-gauge from here, and then temporary I could either come over to the frame ground, which does go to the front of the starter, or just go to the front of the starter. And then knowing me, if two 10-gaugers work, I'm probably not going to take them off and change it to 4-gauge. So anyway, we'll put that ground on and see if that fixes it. That's gotta help. I mean, that's just, I can't believe there's no ground. No cab ground. How can that be?
Okay, it used to go clear down to 10 volts when I turned this on. Now it works, and I even have 3 speeds. I have 2, 3, and 4. One doesn't really work. But anyway, that's all it was ground. You'd turn the headlights on and gauges would go nuts. Okay, I got the new switch in. This is the old one. I now have 4 full speeds. Awesome, works great. So they did a little change up. They give you this spacer deal, which you don't need. Otherwise, you're not going to get the nut back on. The new one has a pigtail coming out of it. And right here is where the switch, the rocker switch to turn the AC on, that's where that goes. So once the switch gets turned on to at least the first position, fan speed, this is hot or grounded, I don't know which. And so what you have to do, it has a single plastic connector on it. You got to get it off because the other pigtail has a pigtail coming out of it that says to switch, and you have to take the plastic covering off to be able to plug it into that. But it works, so that's all it was a switch. Oh, and my recirculation or fresh air door, it works. It is shut, so it's set to recirculate, which is generally how I run AC if I'm anywhere near any dust. Matter of fact, in my pickup, that's the way I run it all the time. I never suck in outside air, just because I know it's dirty and you'll crap up your evaporator. So all I'm waiting for is the hard line to come from Blaine, and then I can hopefully recharge it, figure out what is plugged on it. I kind of think it's the condenser, really, because it's the first 2 top coils that get hot. Everything else, there's no heat in it. So something wrong there. They chugged something in there, plugged it up. Or that condenser was made in China and it was full of China farts and something else in China. Duck peckers, I don't know. Chop suey. Somebody dropped their chop suey in it.